Experts weigh in. Can you stop LGBTQ porn addiction? The adult entertainment industry is booming with a 2023 valuation of $172 billion and projections to reach $250 billion by 2030. 5 of the world's 40 most visited websites are adult sites. While many individuals and couples enjoy pornography, for some it becomes a disruptive force in their lives. Akin to alcohol misuse, for gay men, gay porn stars are equivalent to entertainment stars for other fields. According to Eli Coleman, professor emeritus at the University of Minnesota Medical School, quote, any behavior which has become compulsive or lacking in impulse control can have negative effects on the person's life, end quote. Pornography can also cause personal distress, conflicts with religious or moral values, or relationship struggles. Rory Reid, a sexual health psychologist at UCLA, says the signs of problematic porn use include interference with work, health, or relationships. Other indicators include neglecting hygiene, viewing porn in inappropriate places, or failing to stop despite a desire to quit. While porn doesn't affect the brain like drugs or alcohol, Reid says, quote, like eating, sexual behavior is a basic appetitive drive that can become dysregulated, end quote. However, help is available for this addiction. Cognitive behavioral therapy and acceptance and commitment therapy are proven psychotherapeutic approaches. One can also opt for strategies like setting internet filters, avoiding triggers, and enlisting trusted friends for accountability. The LGBTQ community, often excluded from mainstream conversations about sexual health, faces unique challenges and stigmas surrounding pornography. Seeking professional help or open dialogue with partners can foster healthy relationships with sexual behaviors and values. If porn use disrupts your life, know that help is accessible and healing is possible. There's a lot with this, and I will, before I'll say this, BG, before me being gay,
Okay.
I was, the company I worked for, I actually had a boss who was a pastor, and he was explaining to me that in the church and in our youth specifically, it is like one of the biggest problems. And he actually had a program installed on his computer because he was at one point addicted when he was in college.
Like to
porn.
monitor.
Right. And so if he would go to a site, it would actually, he had it set up to where it would notify friends so that they could hold him accountable.
Wow.
And so, right? So it just goes to show it is. And when it comes to relationships, I mean, we hear it all the time. People catch them watching porn, but yet.
Look, I mean,
yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, and is there a way to get help? Of course there is. Everybody knows that I'm in AA. I've been sober for 10 years, but there's also SAA, which is Sex Addicts Anonymous, right? And unfortunately, a lot of times people come into these groups and they meet other guys, and then they relapse and things happen, right? But with, like you said, with CBT,
right,
which is a cognitive behavioral therapy, they have made a lot of incredible strides when it comes to help. CBT is also helpful for bipolar disorder, also helps with addiction and alcohol abuse as well. So, there is help. I mean, the thing is, it's like sex is part of our everyday. Like, do people want to get help? Is it a safe addiction to have? If it's not harming the rest of your day, then everything is too much of anything is bad, right? I read a story about someone drowning in milk, drinking too much milk, and they died, right? So too much of anything is a bad thing, and porn included.
It's about moderation. And this is different for our community because I think that we face so much more shame than the mainstream media. We have so much less representation in those spaces that it almost becomes, I think, even more of a default for us to go in that direction. But I think you're right, Faye. We need to really be looking at what is that line? When is it helpful when is it helpful or even healthy? And when does it disrupt life and relationships?
Yeah.
There's plenty of us that go to porn for new ideas or to spice things up or your partner's away or whatever the case might be, that you can enjoy it together. So I do think that we have some great tools, but we need to be more aware of kind of where the desire comes from, the fact that it's really born from a lot of the shame that we experience growing up. And
That's a great point.
Yeah, as we experience less of that, I think that maybe our rates kind of compared to heterosexuals might kind of even out a bit.
Andrew, what do you think? Do you know any friends that are porn addicted?
I think I'm in the wrong business with the, with the money.
With the money, right? With the money, right?
I actually did know somebody who was addicted, and back in the early days of the bars, it was shown in bars. So you'd walk into the
video
cubbyhole
bars.
but even like Boardwalk, cubbyhole, Ramrod, they had it on little screens and stuff. So it was everywhere.
Yeah.
You walked into some of the old Pride Factory and stuff when there was back in the back, they had it showing. So you couldn't get away from it in town sometimes. And then you add alcohol, you had drugs, and then in the days of methamphetamines, and still it's a hyperactive to it. So it's scary. I think cognitive behavior therapy is because it helps to rationalize the irrational thoughts.
Right.
I think just asking for help is something I think too many people are afraid or embarrassed to. It's
that part.
It's one thing with its alcohol or drugs, but porn I think becomes another. It's that taboo topic, almost even worse than, even though it's not necessarily, because it's. I don't think you could.
It's healthy.
Right, that's
you can't catch anything from porn.
How many calories do you lose?
And it's free. It's
Right.
not like going out to buy drugs or
Right.
gamble.
It's
Yeah,
not
you're not going to use your mortgage payment to go watch porn.
But I think it's even more taboo in this day and age. Like you watch porn. It's looked frowned upon.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be.
But I think because of what Mark said, like, let's think about it. Like during Don't Say Gay, right? They sexualize us so much, where it's like gay is not synonymous with sex. I know plenty of celibate boys by choice.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, porn should be something that you should be able to enjoy alone with your partner in a group, however, in a healthy way. Now, if it's taking over your life and you can't get to work because you're stuck on porn, then yes, you might need to find some help, but there shouldn't be such a stigma about it.
And don't compare your sexual relationship to what you see on the screen.
Oh my God, for sure.
Because if you only knew what goes behind the scene to create that,
And what's edited out.
in days of filming to do that one scene, it's like
Yeah, and I think that the gay for pay also messes us up too, because we really don't know, is it okay to like somebody? Do we like him because they're straight? It's a mind screw that we have to deal with, that the straight, weird heteros swinging off ceilings don't get freaking penalized for as much as we do.
Right.